Hello, Algebra 1A students. For Mrs. Buchanan, I'm taking a look at the problems here in equation quiz review. And we have a test tomorrow, so I want to make sure I get this out and you're getting all of these correct. Once we are, let me see, make sure I got the right page. I did this with a group of students already this morning. Yes, this is the right page. So you remember, she draws a line. I'm just going to be doing equals, but what we do to one side of the equation, we must do to the other side of the equation. So we have these two sides of the equation that we have to deal with. And what we want to do is get this variable all by itself. So we're going to be doing the opposite operations in order to undo this variable to see what this variable equals, okay? So I have a -4. And in order to get rid of a -4, I'm going to add a +4 to this side and that side, okay? So when I do that, I end up getting 6, and I got rid of it over here. That's why I did it. And now I'm just left with the n divided by 3. Now, the n divided by 3, I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. If I multiply by 3, this would be like 3 over n, and this will give me my n over 1, which give me my n, okay? This just cancels out. So that becomes n, and 6 times 3 gives me 18. I have to do the distributive property first. So 10 times n is 10n. 10 times 10 is 100. And so I just rewrite it like that. I subtract 100 from both sides. I end up getting 10n equals -130. -130 divided by 10 gives me n equals -13. I'm adding 8 to both sides of the equation. I'm left with, this is my a, I know it's an ugly a. -2 equals a over 8. A divided by 8, the opposite of dividing by 8 is multiplying by 8. So I multiply by 8 just like I did in number 1. I multiplied by 3. But here I'm multiplying by 8 both sides, and I get -16 equals a. And how do I know what to do first here? Well, I can't divide anything by 8 here because I still have this here. I still have this here, this isn't, for one thing, going to go in evenly. It's going to be kind of ugly. But we want to do like PEMDAS in these situations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. We're going to do it backwards. We're going to do any addition and subtraction first, and then we're going to do multiplication and division with these types of problems. Now, when we get to here, I can't get to my addition and subtraction. First of all, I have to take care of this 4 down here. And so what's happening here with this 4 is it's divided by 4. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. And when I do so, I get this problem, 9 plus v. I got rid of the 4, that's why I multiply by 4, equals 4, because 1 times 4 is 4. I subtract both sides by 9, I subtract a 9, and I get v equals -5. Number 9, I just combine like terms. 5 minus 2 is 3, p is with it. I divide both sides by 3, and I get p equals 5. If you're wondering about 2, I'm just going to show you these. I'm not going to talk about them, but you could pause it, take a look at your 2, take a look at your 4, take a look at your 6, take a look at your 8, and your number 10. I did, since it's a review, I don't normally do that, but since it's a review, I want you to be confident in what you're doing for the test. So I want you to know that you're getting the right answers on these before you take the test. That would be a good thing to do. Number 11, I'm combining the like terms, so I just have the 1 and this -4 gives me a -3. Then I'm going to add 3 to both sides. Then I'm going to divide both sides by a -8. And I get m equals -2. I put my k's together, and I get 2k equals -10. I divide both sides by 2, and I get k equals -5. This one has a lot of steps. I have to do the distributive property first. 3 times 6 is 18. I had n with it. 3 times 1 is 3. And I have -2 equals -125. I just bring down. I combine my like terms. 3 minus 2 is 1. I subtract 1 from both sides, and I divide both sides by 18. I get n equals negative 7. I have, on this side, I have the distributive property to do, so I just bring this stuff down, and then negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. Negative 4 times a positive 5 is negative 20. I combine my like terms. I add 12 to both sides. I divide both sides by a negative 12, and I end up with 6 equals n. 19, I just bring this 258 down and this equal sign. Then I have negative 7 times 2 is negative 14. Negative 7 times a positive 8 is 56v. There's a v with that 8. And then I just have negative 8 hanging out back here, and I just bring that down. I combine my negative 14 and my negative 8, and that gives me negative 22. I add 22 to both sides to get rid of it. Then I divide both sides by negative 56 to get rid of that, and I end up with negative 5 equals v. Distributive property here on this side of the equation, so I bring all this stuff down, and then I have 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 4 is 12, and there's an x with that 4. I subtract 3 from both sides. I divide both sides by 12. And the last one, I have 2 distributive properties going on here, so I just bring down the 61 and the equals. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times a negative 6 is a negative 24. Negative 7 times 1 is a negative 7. Negative 7 times a negative 6x is a positive 42x. I combine my like terms. My 4 goes with my 42, and that becomes 46. Negative 24 minus 7 is a negative 31. I add 31 to both sides. I divide both sides by 46, and I get 2. To see your evens, just to check yourself before you move on to the test, you can pause it. Here's your 12, 14, and 16. And then here is your 18, 20, and your 22. Good luck on studying for this test. Practice some of those. See if you get the same answers. Start from scratch. Start from the very beginning. Go through the whole problem and then come back and see if you went through that problem correctly. That's a good way to study. Good luck.